Today's big breaking news is another managerial casualty as Sean Dyche has been sacked from his role as head coach of Nottingham Forest. Hey guys, welcome to the channel, welcome to another video. Today's video is going to centre around this man and this club right here. Sean Dyche has been sacked by Nottingham Forest in the aftermath of yesterday's goalless stalemate with Wolverhampton Wanderers as the strugglers of Nottingham Forest have made a big decision to sack Sean Dyche, meaning they have sacked 3 managers this season. Incredible stuff from the City Ground. 3 managers this season have been sacked from the City Ground. Nuno Espirito Santo and Postecoglou, and now following in their footsteps is Sean Dyche, as preparations begin to find a successor, the 4th manager of the season at the City Ground for Nottingham Forest, who currently lies 17th in the table, 3 points off of the relegation zone. Wow, oh wow. Look, of course, we're going to dive into it a little bit more. We're going to be talking Sean Dyche, we're going to be talking Nottingham Forest and everything else in between. But before we get into all of that and much more, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you are new. Both of us will always and forever be greatly appreciated. And of course, I encourage you all to get involved in the comment section down below as well. Use and abuse that section, people. Talk to me on this big news story. Was it the right decision by Forest to take on this? Was it the wrong decision? And what do you make of who may succeed him at the City Ground, or where Sean Dyche may go next? Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling about all of that stuff. Your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you call it, will make for great and interesting reading, so please do get involved. And without further ado, let's get on with the story at hand. Sean Dyche being sacked from his role as head coach of Nottingham Forest. Look, again, I kind of feel sorry for Sean Dyche because I've never liked the way that Forest have been run. I felt like they were stupid to get rid of Nuno in the first place, but I felt they were even stupider to, if that's even a word, or am I just made myself look stupider, to actually replace Nuno with Ange, going from one extreme to the other, only to get rid of him about a month or so later, and then bring in Sean Dyche, who's much more closer to Nuno than he is to Ange. So you've gone from one extreme to the other to back to normal again. I feel like if Sean Dyche may have got a bit more of a pre-season under his belt, maybe if he got a transfer window as well under his belt, then maybe, just maybe, things may have been slightly different when it comes to Sean Dyche's reign as Nottingham Forest manager. Because I at the time said that this makes sense. I at the time said that, you know, he's a big fan of the city. He knows the city inside and out. He's obviously isn't somewhat notorious around Nottingham, to be fair. And I felt like, obviously, with the way that Forest played last season, it might go hand in hand with what Sean Dyche does. Obviously, following on from Nuno, forgetting kind of like the Postecoglou bit, it might be a good fit. And, you know, staying clear of relegation is obviously what Sean Dyche does. Being difficult to beat is what Sean Dyche does. But it just, like I say, it just hasn't panned out that way. And I reckon it is because maybe bad signings, maybe a bad transfer window, no pre-season for Dyche to get his hands on these players and to mould them into his kind of style. You know, I felt like there's a lot there to unpackage with Forest this season alone, let alone with what Sean Dyche has or hasn't done as far as his reign as manager goes. Look, I understand as well, like, you can always make the argument with managers that they should get more out of the players that they've got there than what they have. Sometimes that is the case, sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. And I understand that certain performances haven't exactly gone down too well with the Forest faithful. My question to them is, what exactly were you anticipating when Sean Dyche walked through the door? He doesn't exactly play the most eye-catching football. It's not exactly the most electric football you're ever going to see. It's not exactly like it's prime Pep Guardiola / Barcelona. It's more direct, it's more old school, and it's more defensively based. You know, it's more disciplined, it's more solid, it's more rough, it's more physical. So what exactly were you expecting? Were you expecting kind of like Arsenal under Arsene Wenger? Were you expecting prime Pep Guardiola and prime Barcelona? I don't know what you were expecting in that regards, to be honest with you, Forest fans, but here we go. This is the reality as we now know it. I don't know where they go from here, to be honest with you. I really, really don't. Like I say, they're 3 points off of the drop zone. There's 12 games, obviously, to go. West Ham have started to pick up a little bit of form. I know they've got some tough games coming up, West Ham, but I think Forest do as well. So, I don't really know where they go from here, to be honest with you. I don't know who they turn to as their new manager. I don't know... I just simply don't know. I just don't know where they go. They've obviously gone with Nuno. That blew up because there was... behind the scenes altercations with the owner, who is crazy. And Postecoglou blew up because nobody saw that coming. Oh wait, everybody saw that coming, of course. And now Sean Dyche, which I didn't think would blow up, at least not this early. But here we are. Forest are looking for their fourth manager of the 2025-26 Premier League season. I genuinely don't know where they go from here. Now, there was talk that maybe former Watford manager Vitor Pereira could be in the mix. I just don't know. I genuinely don't know where they go from here. And again, it goes back to my argument. It goes back to my argument that I said at the beginning of the season. I think when your owner becomes too heavily involved in the day-to-day runnings of a football club, I think that's when things blow up in your face. And that is exactly what has happened here, I believe, with Forest this season. It's been a massive reality check for them from last season. A massive reality check for them. They were flying high last season. And now this year it's been the knock back down to earth. It's been the reality check. 3 managers later, they are 3 points outside the relegation zone. West Ham breathing down their necks. I don't know, to be honest with you, where they go. I mean, I'm just looking at certain odds here. I mean, there was a certain manager who got sacked yesterday that is amongst the front runners in Thomas Frank, which could be interesting. And you know, I wouldn't put it past. I wouldn't put it past Forest to maybe go for a Thomas Frank, but again, not exactly the most entertaining style of football. So again, Forest fans, when you get your new manager, just don't have too high expectations of change and things that obviously that manager is not. Thomas Frank's there, Vitor Pereira's there, Roberto De Zerbi. I think that's a bit more unrealistic, to be honest with you, with De Zerbi, but again, it could be interesting and exciting if that actually does come to fruition. And leading the way is, strangely, seemingly Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Again, I don't know. I genuinely do not know. De Zerbi, Pochettino's name is... sorry, that's the Tottenham one. My bad. I just don't know. I just don't know. I mean, Solskjaer's name is mad if that is going to happen. I think we can probably say good night and farewell to Forest again in the Premier League if maybe Solskjaer does come in. I just don't know where they go from here, to be perfectly honest with you. I think the owner's really, really messed this up, but he's got this really weird cult-like following in which Forest fans seemingly love and adore him and they won't turn on their owner. Like, they won't question him. But I think he's really messed this season up for Forest. I think he messed it up for Nuno. I think he messed it up for the Forest fans in appointing Ange. And I think that Sean Dyche, if he was given more time, if he was given better players in the summer that suited him more, and if he was actually given a pre-season in the summer to begin with, maybe things could have turned out differently. I don't know. Like I say, I think it's interesting times at the City Ground right now. Interesting times for Nottingham Forest. Do I think they'll go down this season? Look, it's looking very delicate and dangerous. This last roll of the dice will really, really tell whether or not that they're going to keep their heads above water for another year, or whether they are going to be going back down to the Championship for the first time in, what is it now, like 4 years? 4 or 5 years? Interesting times. Interesting times lie ahead. Look, those are just thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys are thinking and feeling. Let me know in the comment section down below what you make of Sean Dyche being sacked from his role as head coach of Nottingham Forest. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way up if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video. And I'll see you speak to you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your day. Speak to you again very, very soon.